Hello everyone, this is Goosebumps Godzilla, and today I'm going to be talking about the werewolves in the Goosebumps universe and how these werewolves actually do not turn into your average movie werewolf, but really turn into actual literal wolves, but still have human intelligence. So viewer beware, you're in for a scare, and let's get started. So, first thing I need to say is there is clear evidence for this theory. This is probably one of my, and so my first bit of evidence to prove that these werewolves actually just turn into wolves is the cover art for The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. While these are to be taken with a grain of salt, since, sometimes they kind of mess up the story. Not literally mess up the story, but, you know, they kind of make their own twist, like in Vampire Breath. Count Nightwing has hair in there, and in the book he has no hair. So, just slight things like that, but this scene pretty much actually happens in the book, and we can see the wolf in this picture. We clearly see it's a werewolf since he's taken off his clothes and he's in his werewolf form, but he can easily be confused for a wolf. And it makes more sense for this story because in the book, that a dog beats the werewolf of Fever Swamp. The dog is described to look very similar to a wolf, and so that means he's probably going to have the same similar characteristics and being as strong as a wolf. So if the dog went up against a normal werewolf that you see, you know, in the movies and stuff like that, then the normal werewolf would absolutely annihilate this wolf-like dog. It doesn't matter how big he is, a werewolf would win because he only has a weakness to silver. But the werewolf of Fever Swamp not only contradicts the weakness to silver, because in the book, the hermit's somewhat chasing the werewolf and he doesn't have silver with him. Doesn't make sense, he's trying to trap the werewolf with, like, ropes. If it's a normal wolf, that makes sense, but just to try to trap a werewolf with just ropes, and it's a normal movie werewolf, I mean, you're just signing your death wish right there. Plus, as far as I know, all the other Goosebumps books contradict the reasoning behind a werewolf having a weakness to silver. There's actually no evidence in the Goosebumps universe that werewolves have a weakness to silver. The only one that actually supports this is All Day Nightmare, which is the last Give Yourself Goosebumps book. And this book itself is very, very, very confusing. There's a lot of dream sequences and all this stuff, depending on what path you choose, but the werewolves in here are, even described as looking like normal wolves. I'll show you all of the cover art for all the Goosebumps werewolves, and honestly the ones that are proven to be actually factual look a lot like normal wolves. Just take a look at A Night in Werewolf Woods, Give Yourself Goosebumps number 5. You can see that they actually look like normal wolves. So not only does the Werewolf of Fever Swamp cover look like they have normal wolves, but also Night in Werewolf Wolves has too. All Day Nightmare, while it does have the silver thing, it does have werewolves that look identical to wolves rather than werewolves. And How I Met My Monster, it's a little bit different, but honestly, it looks like a normal wolf. I mean, think about it. The only two that really contradict this normal wolf theory is the cover for The Werewolf in the Living Room and the cover for Werewolf Skin. But in my latest video, I showed that Werewolf Skin was complete fake, so that one's automatically taken out. And also the scene that the cover depicts for The Werewolf in the Living Room, while being very gruesome, bloody, and totally awesome, it just never happens in the book, so that one's discounted as well. So the other 4 werewolf books do show normal looking wolves, while How I Met My Monster is sort of on the edgy side between wolf and werewolf. It's closer to wolf than actually your normal werewolf, but it's still wolf-like. But you just have to know that this one barely even mentions werewolf in here. So it's, again, taken with a grain of salt, even though this is probably my favorite Most Wanted book, and one of my favorite Goosebumps books of all time. So in the actual books themselves, I already told you my thinking behind the Werewolf of Fever Swamp. The wolf is defeated by a dog, and he is pretty much defeated without using silver, and the hermit who traps the werewolf, who tries to trap the werewolf, uses only ropes and stuff like that. So it would make sense if he's just hunting a normal looking wolf. Also, in the werewolf in the living room, we can see that while the cover's a little off, the book is pretty on point. It really just describes a normal-looking wolf. While it doesn't go into immense detail on it, it really pretty much says a normal wolf. And while I've read only like one path for the Give Yourself Goosebumps book, All Day Nightmare, it does heavily imply that they're normal wolves with human intelligence, just judging from the cover, and they didn't really go in huge detail about the design. But I haven't read A Night in Werewolf Woods. I do own it. Right now I'm trying to read the other Goosebumps books. So far, I just finished Tales Give You Goosebumps. I just finished Slappy World. I finished the original series a long time ago. I finished Series 2000, I finished Horrorland, and I finished all the normal Most Wanted books. So right now I'm going to be focusing my attention mainly on Give Yourself. So expect some, I guess, reviews on them if you want me to do them. But so far I haven't read A Night in the Werewolf Woods. But just judging from all the evidence I have right now, it makes sense. They don't mention silver except in one book, which is to be taken with a grain of salt. The cover designs pretty much all show normal looking wolves, and even just the book itself, in A Werewolf of Fever Swamp, they don't imply the silver thing, and they really just don't imply anything that a normal werewolf would have. And the hermit, as I said before like twice, hunts down werewolves and he uses only ropes. Plus, a very wolf-like dog would at least have a chance of beating an actual wolf, because if it was a werewolf, then you did. So, anyway, that's the end of my video. Tell me what you think about this theory in the comment section below. Do you think that the werewolves actually turn into normal wolves, or they turn into the ferocious wolves that you see in the movies? So, tell me what you think, and that's the end of my video, and I hope you enjoyed. And also, happy Halloween, and please subscribe, and that's the end.